My initial idea was to do a full motion graphics piece for the topic environmentally friendly. I did not find this inspiring at all, so my lecturer Podrick advised me to do a topic that I was completely interested in, which is golf, as I am a keen golfer myself. He then got me in touch with Bundoran Golf Club, as his mum and dad both play there and linked with the committee. I had to find out what the client wanted to include in the promotional video, so I arranged a meeting in Bundoran Golf Club with the committee, and they advised me on what they wanted to include within the video. At this stage I was still planning to do a full motion graphics piece, but as you will see later on, this will all change. I then needed knowledge of the club, the course, and also the people around the course. So then after the meeting, I went round the course, walked around it with the camera. I took photos of all the surrounding scenery, all of the things that I would want to include within the video. So the ocean, the mountain, and also the clubhouse, the interior, the exterior, and the pro shop, and even some of the people around the place, just to get a better feel for the club and what I would need to show in the end product. My main objective for Bundoran Golf Club was to really modernise their marketing strategies. This was through the motion graphics, but after walking around the course, I realised that this was just too far-fetched for the club, that I would still have to show off the course, the surrounding scenery, the ocean, the beaches, Ben Bulbin, all the other amazing things around the course. My first storyboard for the video for Bundoran Golf Club really was more of a touristy video for the whole of Bundoran instead of focusing just on the golf club. I really thought the Bundoran Golf Club should be standing alone by itself, that it can show off all of the assets that it has around the course instead of having to rely on all of the things that are available within Bundoran. So after talking with Terry and Justin, they both advised me that I should create a narrative within my storyboard. This is when I redefined my storyboard to include the day in the life of a golfer, everything that it includes, and also what the golf course and the clubhouse has to provide, and also including the 19th hole. The big day arrived, first day filming at Bundoran Golf Club. This really taught me that I should check the wind speeds before going to Bundoran Golf Club, because I did check the weather and it did give sunny, but the winds was just, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Rachel ended up falling asleep. My trolley fell over I don't know how many times, and not even a golf ball was hit. Well, a couple were tried to be hit, but didn't really succeed with that one. This day did turn out to be another location shot day, because I didn't really want to showcase Bundoran as a course where there's gale force winds, because I know myself that this wouldn't attract me to come to the course. The only shot that I did get on that day that I used in my film is the very first shot. As you can see, the water is very choppy, and well, I didn't really want to show the flags going absolutely mental or the clothes just being stuck to you because of the wind. Any shots that I did get that day, I knew I wasn't going to use it in my final film, but I used these videos for prep. So I started creating different transitional techniques like masks, luma fades, and other types of transitional effects. I had to figure out a way to get lots of different shots of the surrounding areas, the assets that Bundoran Golf Club has. The only way that I felt that I could do this was to get a drone. So this is when I purchased the Phantom 4 Pro. I had to do a lot of practice before even going up to attempt Bundoran, because even if it says the wind speeds are low, there's always wind, and the amount of warning messages you would get on the screens, even up around in the middle of the country where I'm at, nowhere near the ocean, bringing the drone up into the sky, it always said land as soon as possible, or be careful, keep the drone within eyesight, or you'll end up losing it, which just I could not afford to do. Well, I couldn't really afford the drone in the first place, but the things you do for design, eh? So after all my practice with the drone, I finally became confident enough to take it to Bundoran Golf Club. I knew that Bundoran Golf Club is a links course, so I had to check the 5-day weather forecast regularly to make sure that the drone wouldn't fly away into the ocean. I also had to make sure that my actors were free, David Robinson and Rachel, which never really happened until nearly the end of the deadline. Even when it did say in the weather forecast that the wind speeds were low and the sun was shining, when I brought the drone over towards the ocean to get the shots, it did say land as soon as possible, high wind velocity. So this means I was restrained to the back 9, which is closer inland, and I was able to get some shots of the course. But yet again, another problem. There is an army base up close to Bundoran Golf Club which says I was flying under my own responsibility. And at that stage I didn't really understand. I didn't know why it was saying that, so I just said yes, I'll do it. So away I went flying, and then I just had to fly back. I didn't want anything to happen. I didn't want to get in any trouble with the drone. I rang up David Robinson, the professional, and booked the lesson for the Monday. That morning in Tyrone, it was raining, it was a wee bit windy, so I did ring him up and ask him about the weather in Bundoran. He just said he was too busy and we had to rearrange. But things did turn out better because the weather on the Wednesday we rearranged to was fantastic, and I was able to get most of my drone footage and also the lesson as well, and the weather just made it look so much better. After speaking with one of the professionals at Bundoran Golf Club about the wind speed, saying that they were just completely ridiculous, he then advised me that the best times to go to the club were the morning time or late in the evening. So the morning it was.
It's currently 7:15 a.m. We had to get up this early to go to Bundoran, so the wind speeds were low.
So before I purchased the drone, I wanted to get a slow tracking effect going down the fairway. I achieved this by strapping myself onto the back of the buggy. This also helped that I didn't drop the expensive camera, though the terrain of the golf course was too bumpy and the speed was so inconsistent within the buggy as well.
Jesus Christ. Rachel, stop doing that. It's not working.
Afterwards, using the drone to achieve this, it just works so much better. They've got the active track option within the drone app that you can draw a square around whatever target you want, and the camera will then follow that object, which is one of the scenes in my final outcome. As I was unfamiliar with using the drone, I used my local GA pitch to help practice. There was no overhead cables or any trees in the road, so I was able to just use everything that was available to do and just practice it before I went up to the big smoke in Bundoran. I used the masking transition to get my footage from the outside scene to the inside scene, which then shows the views from the clubhouse looking out. To create this effect, I used my own car to drive past and cover the entire screen, then masked out the back of the car to then reveal the next shot. I also chose my days correctly by choosing the May Day bank holiday, which meant there was more people around the course creating a nice buzz. And when then shooting the inside of the clubhouse, which has the dated upholstery, the seats were then covered by all these people having drinks and watching the football. I edited my video in a fast and snappy style, and then I was planning to overlay this with motion graphics, though I thought this sort of slowed my video down and didn't really suit my style. Although I did keep the motion graphics at the start and the end of my video. Instead of using that, I just incorporated ordinary titles to inform the users throughout the video of important information that they would need to know. I realised that the motion graphics title that you will see at the start and the end of the video is obviously the first and the last thing the viewer will see. I chose this freehand brushstroke effect as it will mirror the freeness the golfer will feel whilst playing a links golf course. I also had the motion graphics put over the drone aerial shots. This was taking away though from the footage, so I had to come up with different techniques to try overcome this. I tried out different cinematic titles, still didn't work. Tried to put the title down at the bottom and small. It was working slightly, but the font was too small, so if somebody's using a mobile phone to watch the video, they wouldn't be able to read it. So I made the text bigger. Again, it took away from the video that was on the screen. And then finally I tried to overlay the text on the video so you can still see the video in the background, but it gives the users the information that they still need. Practicing with the drone was very important, and also bringing it into my laptop. I checked the quality tests on my laptop and it just did not render at all. I have a kind of old laptop, so a 4K quality was just didn't work at all. I then tried 2.7K, which in the settings in the drone you can just easily change, and this worked fine. The quality was still amazing, and it didn't jump in post-production editing, so it was just perfect. After bringing all my footage into Premiere in the post-production stage, I thought that the lighting I would never have to change any of it until I did a test, and I upped the saturation and different lighting effects in it. It brought up the greenness of the grass and the blueness of the sky and the ocean, and the difference it made was just amazing. Thank you for listening.